I tell everybody just to believe in their dreams and work toward the dreams. Nothing is easy, and it may take maybe 10 years before you reach your goal, but you need to work through it if you believe in it, if you feel that is the right thing for you. And I still have a lot of dreams that I want to realize, that I need to reach. I want those goals. I don't know if I ever get to do those things, but I try to work towards them. And if it doesn't happen, it's okay. The biggest dreams I realized, moving to Finland was the biggest.
Hi, Kiki. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm fine.
Thank you so much for joining us. And hello and welcome everyone to the Bleeding Metal podcast. Today I'm bringing you another friend of mine. So this is another chapter of the series that I have called Pod Friends, where I bring friends of the podcast to introduce them to you. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Hello, everybody. My name is Cristina, but for everybody, Crix. I'm from Italy, but I live in Finland, and I have been doing interview and live music photography for a while. Interview, reviews, stuff like that for about 12 years, and photography for 10 years. It's not my main job, but it's something that I love to do. And this make me meet great people like Kiki. So
Yes, tell us a little bit about your other job.
I'm a physiotherapist. I work with different kind of clients, mainly neurological clients, but also musculoskeletal. Then there is massage, amputation, a bit of everything. So it's never boring. It's a very interesting, and I always want to improve myself and learn something new, because you never stop to learn in any sector. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, that is so cool. You will be happy to hear that just before I sat down an hour ago, I did this 5-minute exercise video thing.
That's good.
That's good for like your back and posture, for people who sit a lot.
Yeah, that's great.
It's this weird app to remind me in the evening that I have to move a little again.
Yeah, actually, I also use an app for keep me active. Okay, with my job, I'm all the time active because it's all the time changing position, lifting people, and try to have more than 2 hands. And I walk a lot. But if I do some training, I'm going to overdo. And even if I say to my clients, take it easy, don't overdo.
Mhm.
Yeah, then I cannot control myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit risky, and I'm still dealing with a problem with the knee that nobody knows why I have this issue. But now it's been 2 months better, but I need not to go to lift weight yet. Otherwise, it's going to be like last year, and I'm going to be again in pain. And so I have this app, and also there is the 5 minutes or 45 minutes or in between, and it's all kind of different stuff. So I have been doing endurance, core, Pilates, yoga, different mobility.
Yeah.
Because you sleep better when you do those kind of exercises.
True. It was so funny. I came back from my run this morning and I was like, I hated that that it feels good afterwards. Because for this whole month, I was like, maybe I need a little bit of a break to try something different. And then I was sitting here like, I want to run, I want to run, I want to run, I want to run. It's crazy. I used to hate exercise, and now I'm like, I went for a run and I'm so happy.
You know about running, sometimes that's something that say, now you need to run fast. But I have never been that kind of a person that go for a run. I like sprint. Sprint, yeah, because you run fast for a certain amount of meters, and then there is a break. But going to run, I never learn. I'm a walker. I walk fast People with longer legs than me have difficult to keep up with my walking. I'm short and fast.
Yeah. Back to our story. We met a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. I am not sure how you found us, but I remember you reaching out and inviting the Bleeding Metal podcast to your own medium, that is the Metal Pizza Talkshow.
I remember that Susanna introduced me to Bleeding Metal. Then I contact you. So that's pretty much how it went. So Instagram is a great tool. Not always,
Yeah.
but I will say that nowadays is a bit. It went a bit down, the Instagram thing, but it can be a good tool.
Yeah.
About Metal Pizza, when did I start Metal Pizza? Oh my gosh, 2.5 years ago, I think. I had this idea because I have been doing interview, and it's always like, the 15, 20 minutes and asking always about the same thing pretty much, or it's fast. You don't get to really get into the person that you are interacting with. And then it's also interesting to listen the story about people that are part of the metal community, but that are not musicians. So that was also something that I want to bring up. And it started a bit with like a joke before a gig and before an interview. We were eating pizza, and a friend of mine was like, you have to ask to the band, does pineapple belong to pizza? And then I was, yeah, you know what, but metal pizza, it sounds like good. It could be something. And then I start to think, and then I create a list of guests that I will try to get. I was a bit afraid because my English is not perfect. It's everything but perfect. I have this big accent, but then again, I was like, who cares? Of course I have an accent. I was not born in England, US, or whatever they speak English. I'm Italian, and I speak Finnish in my daily life. This is also to keep up with the English, to don't lose it if I don't speak enough. So I get through interviews to keep it up, and also through my works, I get students doing the clinical practice that are not Finnish. So then again, we go to the English to try to keep up and improve. It's always an improvement, the English. Yeah. And then I was, okay, Metal Pizza, it sounds great to talk a bit of everything. So that's how it started. And the first guest, I think that the first guest was the singer of Helvenking. I sent him a message through Facebook because we are friends in Facebook. So I was like, would you be interested? And he was like, yeah. And then the second one was Kaika from Stamina. And I was, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then it was Tony Dolan from Venom Inc. through Facebook. And then some people I contact via email or other social media. And there is still a lot of people that I would like to interview, but since this is like my free time, I do whenever I feel. Tomorrow I have an interview for Metal Pizza, so I don't stress too much over it. And at the beginning it was one episode per month, then it became two episode per month, and now is whenever I have time. Pretty much, because if also there are gigs with the photo and other interviews. Also, I take care of the press release for the offering website. So every week I go through the emails and I have to do the articles. A lot of things in the free time. I think you can understand me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But that is so cool. And it obviously begs the question, how did you come to Finland? Even further back, what part of Italy do you come from? How was your upbringing?
My hometown in Italy is Trieste. It's a seaside city at border with Slovenia, about 2 hours from Venice. So it's a multicultural city. Well, of course, being at the border, a lot of people that speak Slovenia, Croatian, Serbian Croatian, but there are also German speakers and Turkish people quite a lot. Chinese, they have a big community there. It's a beautiful city, and when I left, I had everything. So people were saying, "You are crazy. Why you are leaving everything to jump in the void in a way?" I fell in love with Finland. I think that the first memory that I have about Finland is animation that I was watching as a kid. It was about Santa Claus, and yeah, it was a anime. I don't know what's the name in English or even in Japanese. I know the Italian. I have always been like, I like winter with the snow. And in my hometown, snow is not that common. It can be very cold, but the snow is not there, and it's very humid, so not my favorite actually. At some point, I realized that most of the band that I was listening to, they come all from Finland. So I was like, okay, what's so good in Finland that everybody writes good songs? So I decided to do my research on internet, and then I was, oh, this look nice. I need to visit one day. So I did my first travel to Finland in 2007. It was just Helsinki. I was alone. It was the first time that I took a plane. I didn't speak Finnish at all. I knew just kiitos.
Yeah.
And then another thing was that my English was very bad. It was like basic English. That was a very important travel for me, a very important experience because I proved myself that I can do things by myself. If I want something, I need to work on and get. Don't wait for anybody else. So it was empowering in a sense.
Yeah, I bet.
But after the first travel, I did 11 more travel in 5 years.
Oh, wow.
So I was like winter and summer, one time during spring. Well, of course, it was always at least one day Helsinki, but then I was Tampere has been my favorite since day one.
Okay.
But then I have been to Kirkkonummi, Espoo, Kouvola, Mikkeli, Jyväskylä, Hämeenlinna, Turku, and Pori, where I moved. Long story short, why I was in Italy, I was like, I want to move to Finland because I feel that is the place where I belong. I feel at home. And then I was motivated to learn Finnish because I don't want to be cut out. I want to have more opportunity to find a job. So I decided to pay a teacher. I remember that I put the announcement on a magazine from my city, and I was looking for a Finnish speaker to give lessons. And I knew that there are not many. At that point, I think there were 5 Finnish people in the city. So, and one lady called me. She was educating languages, so it was the right person also to teach language. So I start to learn Finnish.
Okay, so you started learning Finnish while you were still living in Italy, though?
Yes.
Okay.
4 years about. Then I moved. I remember that I was sending a curriculum everywhere, doing application everywhere to work in Finland, but nobody was taking me. Then I had my au pair profile open for few years, but nobody was calling me because I was too old. When I moved, I was 27. 27 au pair is not... Usually they take 20 years old, 18, 20 years old. Then a month later, a family from Pori contacted me if I'm interested to be an au pair. It was October 2013, and I moved to Pori. Pair was like supposed to be 4 months, so I was in a hurry to find a job. So I was applying to every kind of job all around Finland. I was like, whatever, just take me.
Yeah.
But it was not that easy. But then I got a job as a cleaner. And for 5 years, I was a cleaner. And I didn't like that. It's not easy. It's always in a hurry. And some people don't respect you. And I'm that kind of worker that I want to do everything perfectly, because if I get pay, I want to give more than 100%. I want to give everything that I can. And as a cleaner, you cannot be perfect. In particular, you try to be perfect, but if you have like 2 minutes to clean a toilet and
Wow.
someone left a surprise,
Oh
it's going to
no.
take at least 10 minutes. So then you have to run all around. So I think that I got burnout, but I didn't realize, I didn't know about burnout back then.
Right.
Just studying physiotherapy, we get to know also mental health condition, because through physiotherapy you can help people.
Mhm.
But thinking back, yeah, I was waking up in the morning thinking, let's hope that I have fever so I don't need to go to work. And that's not health.
Right, right.
And then I was crying at work, so if I was unable to finish well something. And I never experienced before or later something like that. So that was. But
Heavy.
in Italy, I was optician, but in Finland, I tried to get recognition for my diploma, but yeah, they were,
Mhm.
you need to go to Helsinki to study 2 years. And then I was, if I have to go to study something that I have been working for 7 years, I'm going to study something else that I was unable
Right.
to study in Italy. That was physiotherapy. So it was
Okay.
meant to be. And then while I was studying physiotherapy, I decided to quit the job as cleaner, and I became artistic gymnastic coach.
That's so cool.
That also was something that I was dreaming when I was a kid to do. I did. So there are a lot of dreams that Finland gave me the opportunity to realize, to make them
Oh
true.
my goodness, that is so wholesome. That is so sweet. I'm so happy to hear.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a life story.
I tell everybody just to believe in their dreams and
Yeah.
work toward the dreams. Nothing is easy, and it may take maybe 10 years before you reach your goal, but you need to work through it if you believe in it, if you feel
Yeah.
that is the right thing for you. And I still have a lot of dreams that I want to realize, that I need to
Yeah.
reach. I want those goals. I don't know if I ever get to do those things, but I try to work towards them. And if it doesn't happen, it's okay. The biggest dreams I realized, moving to Finland was the biggest. It was like something incredible for me.
Oh, that's amazing. And also that it's never too late. Eating can be scary because of so many things. You know it best as a physiotherapist when your body is not working as it used to, or when psychological stress or other mental health issues start to manifest in the body as well. Also about dreams that come true or not. And how sometimes we think, well, by that age, I should have done this and this and that. And how much of a pressure that is, and how difficult it can be to realize, okay, I'm this age and I haven't reached those goals or done those things yet. And I do think it's important to always reevaluate. Are those dreams or those goals still worth pursuing or not?
I think that it's never too late, but of course it depends in which country someone is and what kind of mindset. Finland give opportunity. You can go to study at 60. There are a lot of people that change their career after 40.
Mhm.
So I don't see it like a issue. Also, I don't think that people in Finland look at aging. While in Italy is very different. If
Yeah.
you are 30, you are old. You are not useful. It's more if you don't have a job, or if you lose your job after you turn 30, then
Mhm.
it's more difficult to get a job.
Mhm.
By 30, you should have your house, you should have your family, and it's very impossible. Also, this thing about family bother me.
Yeah.
Now I think that it will stop because I'm turning 40 next February. So I hope that people stop to ask when I'm going to have kids, because I have never felt that I want them. I'm fine to be the cool aunt.
Yeah.
So my sister has two and my brother has one kid. So I'm the one that send a great gift.
Uh-huh.
But I know a lot of my friends felt at some point that they want a kid.
Mm.
It never happened to me. So that should be not mandatory. If someone wants to have kids, great. Everybody is different. So everybody should decide from themselves and not to be stigmatized because someone want or not.
Yeah.
So that should be, people should be free. Also, women usually get judged more about not having kids
Oh, yeah.
compared to men. Men are fine if they don't have kids, but the women should have. Otherwise, they don't understand the most important thing. I have heard a lot of,
Or
or
you will
when
regret
someone
it
saying,
someday. Or
yeah,
I know.
yeah, yeah, or when they say, who will look up to you when you are getting old? And then
Yeah.
the nurses. Like you, because you don't get a kid because you want a nurse when you are old.
Right.
You
Yeah.
should let the kid live his life, and not everybody should be parents. This is something that there are a lot of people with great traumas because of the parents. So maybe not everybody should.
Yeah, that was one of the main reasons why I decided not to have kids. I don't want to pass on all of my anxiety and depression to someone else. But that is funny that that subject just came up again because an hour ago I had Emily from the band Letter Sent Home, and we were talking about that. We were talking about feminism and about how the real goal is just the power of choice. Do
Yeah.
whatever you want, but don't be judged. Don't be limited by laws or by other people. Just be free. That's what everyone wants to be in the end.
Yeah, yeah. The world see women and men, but we should see just people. We are
Yeah.
all people. And of course, if we go to brain and anatomy, yeah, there are differences. But we are still all people, and we should not judge someone based on which gender someone is. It should be
Yeah.
just, it's a person, so let's treat the person as a person. And also everybody should treat others as they would like that others treat them. So that's what my mom taught me, that you treat other as you want that other treats you. So if you treat others not in a good way, don't expect that someone else treat you well.
Right.
Respect each other's. It should be not that difficult, but apparently it is.
Yeah, true. But going back to your story, so then you became a physiotherapist, and at some point you also started with photography, with metal photography.
I have always been like fascinated by photography. I think it was 2006. My aunt gave me a used camera. She was like, "I'm not using this anymore. Do you want?" And it was a old digital camera. But then it started, and I had always the camera with me when we went out with friends. I was the one always taking terrible photos, but they miss my terrible photos. But at least there are memories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then when I was going to Finland for the first time, I decided to buy a compact camera, digital camera, and so I start to do photography with that a bit. Then I bought a super zoom, Nikon super zoom, whatever model it was, and then I start a bit to during the festival and stuff like that, having with me and taking photos. And I was thinking that those photos are amazing. When I look at them, I'm like, ugh, terrible. But yeah, back then I was like, yeah, they are good. They are good. I'm good. I was not good. That's the reality. But then you learn. And then I got the first semi-professional camera, another Nikon D something. And then I start to get more photos, and now I have a professional one, the Nikon Z6. Gigs photography officially start because I start doing a review and interview with Metal website. And then I saw through Instagram again that someone liked one of the photo that I post, And then I check, and was this girl that was collaborating with the offering website. And there was this post that they were looking for writer, reviewer, interviewer, photographers. So I decided to apply. And then I I think it was 2015, maybe it was October, November, or was it before? No, I think it was 2015. It was 2 years here.
Wow.
Then I start to do even more interview because, of course, not living in Helsinki, it's a bit more difficult to get more, interview chance and so on. So then I had the chance to improve. If I look back to my interviews or if I watch my old interviews, yeah, I was writing every single question on the paper and then reading. And yeah, it was so bad. But then with time, I start just to, now when I have interview, I just have few notes just to, in particular, if I have more interview in a day, just to know, to not get confused with maybe album, when the album was released and stuff like that. But I go with a lot with improvisation. So I try to pick whatever the other person say and maybe create a question or think about question that usually people may not ask and that may be interesting for fans to listen, and also for the artist to answer, because if you ask all the time the same thing, you see that they get bored. You see the expression, so
yeah,
you try to get something that may activate them a bit more.
yes, I know what you mean. I recently had the opportunity to interview Kriegel from Helveti, and it was funny because it was extremely last minute and I didn't even get invited to watch the concert. It was a go interview and get out kind of thing. But it was a really cool experience anyway, because he is incredibly calm and chill. Like, if there is a human that can embody the concept of peace and calm, that is him. I had never met him before. And in preparation for this interview, so the few hours before that I had to prepare, because it got confirmed the morning of their concert here, I started watching some of the interviews with him with Elveti. And I remember there were a few where he literally rolled his eyes at the questions and was very, very obviously uncomfortable on the things people were asking him. And also, obviously artists do a series of press promoting one album, and he got the same questions in different interviews and he said the same answers. And so I know what you mean. Artists have rehearsed this. So they have a very specific recitation kind of cadence when you start to repeat the same question, and that gets really boring. So yeah, you're speaking from my heart when you say that.
Yeah, also sometimes it's very difficult to come up with questions that are not asked before, because you need sometimes to ask about certain thing, because if there is an album coming out, you want to know. Yeah, also there you can try to get into more the studio, for example, how was recording in the studio, in which studio, and how much time, and stuff like that, if nobody else asks. But that's why Metal Pizza. So I can ask whatever I want because it's a pizza.
And you have your classic question about favorite pizza. I love that so much.
Yeah. It's important. You get to know a person with
Pizza
asking.
is absolutely important in the world. Yes. Well, first of all, thank you so much for sharing with us your life story. So interesting. And then that's how we met, I guess. Almost 2 years ago, you reached out and you had me as a guest on your show, and that is so cool. I don't get interviewed that often.
Me neither. So this is interesting. I think this is the 4th interview that get to do. The other ones were in Italian. One was for the local magazine in my hometown. I still have the article, and it's a beautiful article. I like
Nice.
how the lady wrote down. Another one he wrote not very well. I didn't like. He put something wrong, and then I asked to correct, and he didn't correct it. He didn't answer to me,
Oh.
so I didn't like that. It was like a bit changing stuff. And then another one was a friend of mine. We did it through Instagram, and she was, oh, was that in English? It was in English maybe, but I cannot find anymore the interview.
Oh. Well, this one is going to stay up there for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
And we had this kind of talk. We talked about interviewing artists, and I realized this. We have this in common. We don't want to make the same questions all over again when we interview artists. And that's why when I was organizing the Tuska Forum by Bleeding Metal last year for the second time, and I wanted to have a session in Finnish, and you speak Finnish, you were absolutely perfect for that job. So it has been really amazing to have you also 2 years in a row now be our guest journalist at Tuska Forum by Bleeding Metal and asking the questions in Finnish to the Finnish artists.
Yeah, and that was a great experience. So I'm so happy that you asked me, because I think that I'm not introvert. I may be more on the extrovert side. I'm very social. Sometimes I like the unsocial life also. But yeah, I'm doing a social job, and my hobby is a social. Even if gigs, you go there, there is the music. For the time that there is music, you don't need to talk with anyone. Am I ambivert? Maybe.
Yeah.
I think that I am.
I also consider myself an ambivert, and I in fact hate it when people talk at concerts. I'm becoming very gringy about that.
As a kid, I was very shy, and I still am. Talking in front of people is making me nervous. I just get a bit panicked. So that's a very good thing for me to teach myself that I don't need to stress or to overthink. And I still did overthink. And I don't know if I'm brave enough to watch the interview with Joel and Eika, because well, my boyfriend told that yeah, it seems that you don't at the beginning that you don't know how to speak to Finnish, and I was, yeah, I felt like I don't know what happened. My brain was like doing its thing, and yeah, but then it got more like kind of relaxed. But it's like talking. It's not talking with artists. That's it's not a problem anymore. Maybe if there is someone big that it's been big for me in life. For example, Nightwish interview was a bit more stressful, but it went very well. And also under the interview, of course, on YouTube, people comment whatever they want. Most of the comments were very nice, but there was also someone that wrote, it feels that the interviewer is not prepared. And then I answered, well, actually, I was very nervous. You know, Nightwish has been very important for me to become a metalhead. So, and to move to Finland and stuff like that. So, of course, I was nervous. And talking with one of the biggest musicians from Finland, it's an honor, and you have the 15 minutes with the manager looking at you and doing like this. Of course, you get a bit, what I'm going to ask? I don't have time to ask everything. Then I answered, no, sorry, I was just jealous that you had the chance to meet. Okay. So I don't know why people have always to, comment in, not always, but sometimes they comment in a not very kind way.
Yeah.
Or comment about my accent. There was an interview that I did with Andy McCoy, and someone wrote in Finnish that it was better if both would have speak Finnish because none of them is able to speak English. So it was like, wow. But yeah, a lot of time comments. So, but I do what I do. If people likes, okay. If they don't like, who cares? Nobody is paying me. I'm not getting payment from YouTube or whatever. I do this for free just because I like and I...
Yeah, for the love of music.
Yeah, I love music is life. Music is a poetry for the soul. So I like to do everything that I can for music because it makes me alive.
I agree with you. People can get so much courage from sitting behind the screen and letting free their meanest, most hurtful phrases, sentences, comments, but they're not the ones doing the work.
I would like to see them.
Yeah, interviews in person can be really intimidating. There's an extra layer of intimidation. I was just thinking that now that I'm listening back to the episodes that have been released with my friends on the podcast, it's so different. I feel like I sound so different. I'm much more relaxed, and like even my voice changes, and it flows differently. I was wondering, like, why? I'm not necessarily nervous anymore when I talk to artists. And just now I paid attention an hour ago when I was interviewing Emily from Letters and Home. I realized the same thing. And it made me think about what you were just saying. Am I an ambivert? Am I an introvert? What the fuck is happening right now? That's something that I know about myself that I have realized throughout the years, that when I am thrown in a new situation, in a new class or somewhere where I don't know everybody, at first I'm very quiet and I don't say things, and I prefer to listen, and then slowly I gain the confidence to, I don't know, start making chit chat and jokes and whatever. And that's like, let's say, a very social off camera daily thing scenario. And obviously in an interview I don't have that much time to warm up to the person. But also it's not about me. I'm helping the artists tell their personal stories about their passions, the causes they support, whatever they have experienced that makes them different, whatever influences their music in a more personal and human way. And that is how we establish the connection. And sometimes artists are very closed and very guarded, and they don't let you in, and they just repeat the rehearsed stories. That gets me into overthinking in that moment, trying to, okay, what angle can I use to help them open up a little more, feel more empowered and more trustful of the situation. And so it's a lot of stuff that plays a role. And that is first in interviews like this online. Then there's a next level when you are, like you were saying, when you are backstage before a concert and the tour manager starts walking around and pacing and looking at you. And you're like, I'm trying to look at the person I'm interviewing and talking to. And at the same time, I have to keep this peripheral view of, when are they going to do the thing? And I have to stop. And am I going to be able to wrap up in a natural way before they do that? And then we threw you in this even next level situation where it was a live interview in front of an audience with artists that are huge stars in Finland and in Finnish. And, there were so many different components, and you did a great job.
Sometimes also it can affect how tired you are. If it's been a long day, for example, it's Friday, you have been a work day, and then you are going to a gig, you are going to do interview and photography, and you may be tired, so your brain is not working as it should be, probably. So you try your best, but still then you look after, and yeah, I can see the interviews when I was tired, but what can you do? This is life, so you take what it comes. But then it's easy when you have met the artist before. Usually they remember. So usually there are a lot of artists that they come and they hug me and how are you doing? So, and then, oh, okay, this person remember me. And I don't expect that anyone remember me because artists meet so many people. So I don't think that they need to remember me, but it's always nice when they do, and it warms my heart, of course. And then it's more easy to talk, and it feels more natural. That's a big thing.
Yes, and it also gets easier with time and practice. And of course you are very well practiced in interviews, but live interviews is a different thing as well. After 3 years of doing Tuska Forum, I was still nervous this year, but not as much as in the beginning.
it's always with time. It takes time to just normalize. And then the first time it was dark, so you were like unable to see the people. Last time you were able to see how many people there were more lights, so it was like, okay, I see their face. And then, are they judging me? I know there were a lot of fans of Blind Channel and Yoel, so their focus was not on me. So their focus was on him. So whatever I was saying probably was like not very important. Also, I still need to do the translation that someone asked on YouTube. I will do it sometime, but I have been so busy that I was unable.
That's awesome, Kix. Thank you so much. I won't take any more of your time. You have a busy weekend ahead of you. And thank you so much for coming over to the Bleeding Metal podcast to tell us your story. So fascinating.
It was a pleasure for me to be your guest, and thank you also for getting me to Tuska Forum. That was an important thing, and I hope that there will be another chance.
I hope so too. Everyone out there, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to the Bleeding Metal podcast wherever you listen or watch. Also, don't forget to follow Crix and the Metal Pizza Talkshow. I will link those in the description.
Thank you.
Bye bye.